Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 20th of January. US and UK urge Pakistan to hand over 2611 mastermind Lakhvi to India. Life comes to a standstill as petroleum shortage spreads across Pakistan. And Hindus in India mark Mauni Amavasya with holy dip. And now for all the details, the US and UK have urged Pakistan to hand over Zakiur-Rehman Lakhvi to India. The commander of banned terror outfit Lashkar-e-Taiba and the alleged mastermind of the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks, Lakhvi is currently facing trial in Pakistan in the case.
The Pakistani prosecution team in the 2611 case informed a special court on Monday that the two countries have urged Islamabad to hand over Lakhvi to India to ensure an independent trial. This could improve ties between the two countries, US and UK reportedly told the Sharif government. The court, however, said it is up to the administration to decide on the issue. India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party said other wanted terrorists who are in Pakistan should also be handed over to New Delhi.
I think Pakistan will have to do a lot more. There are many others who were behind plotting of 2611, including Hafiz Saeed, and Dawood Ibrahim is still wanted in 1993 Mumbai blast. So I think it will have to be, cannot stop with Lakhvi alone.
Defence analysts, however, felt that Islamabad might not comply with the demand owing to the role allegedly played by its agencies in the attack.
Firstly, if they hand over, this will send a wrong message to the terrorist organization in Pakistan, and they would not like it. They will bring a lot of pressure on the Pakistan government to ensure that he is not handed over. Secondly, is that if he is handed over by any chance, then he is likely to leak out many information which may be against Pakistan, and it may cause a lot of embarrassment to Pakistan.
The detention of Lakhvi has been extended for a month after a Pakistani court cancelled his bail in the 2008 Mumbai terror attack, in which Pakistani terrorists killed 166 people, including 6 Americans.
Nepal Parliament witnessed dramatic scenes on Tuesday after a scuffle broke out between the ruling party and the opposition. Clashes took place when opposition lawmakers tried to storm into the well of the House during discussion on the drafting of the new constitution. This comes even as the country is going through an opposition-sponsored general strike following a breakdown in understanding with the ruling party over the move. Nepal has been trying to draft a new constitution ever since electing its first constituent assembly in 2008. But it has been repeatedly hampered due to lack of consensus between major political parties. The Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal has invited the chief ministerial candidates of other two parties for a public debate ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls. The national capital will elect its new provincial government next month.
Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Tuesday held a huge roadshow in New Delhi as the election battle heats up in the national capital. The rally, which was a display of strength ahead of the big showdown, saw thousands of AAP supporters turning up to cheer their leader.
और मैं उनसे अपील करता हूं कि ये जनतंत्र के लिए एक बहुत अच्छी पहल होगी अगर दोनों के बीच में एक डिबेट हो, अलग-अलग मुद्दों के ऊपर हो। जनता देखिए अभी क्या होता है कि जनता धर्म के नाम पे, जाति के नाम पे वोट देती है, उनको पता नहीं होता कि क्या मुद्दे किस पार्टी के हैं। तो अगर ऐसा डिबेट होता है, ये अच्छी प्रथा शुरू करेगा। दोनों कैंडिडेट्स के बीच में मुद्दों पे डिबेट हो।
While chief ministerial candidate of Congress party Ajay Makan accepted his challenge, BJP's Kiran Bedi said she will debate only inside the assembly. Bedi, who joined the BJP last week, was officially announced the party's candidate late on Monday.
इससे अच्छा तरीका नहीं हो सकता जिसमें नेतृत्व को अपने विजन के बारे में और जो मुश्किल प्रश्न सामने उठते हैं उसके उत्तर देने के बारे में एक मौका मिल सके.
I'll do it in the assembly, and before that I'm now focusing on delivery rather than only debates, because that's all what he's been doing. He's only been debating. I'm on delivery.
Former police officer and social activist Bedi has a long history of working with Kejriwal during the India Against Corruption campaign led by anti-graft crusader Anna Hazare in 2011. But both parted ways after Kejriwal announced his entry into politics in 2013.
Bangladesh Nationalist Party chief Begum Khaleda Zia has urged her supporters to continue with the agitation, stating that the nationwide shutdown will not end anytime soon. Zia's decision came on Monday after the police withdrew troops deployed outside her house. The blockade, which completed its second week on Tuesday, was enforced by the BNP after Zia announced an anti-government protest on the first anniversary of the general elections, leading to police confining her to her office. The BNP-led opposition alliance had boycotted the polls in January last year and has been pressing for fresh elections ever since. At least 27 people have already been killed and hundreds others have been injured in violence during the ongoing shutdown. The lingering petroleum shortage in Pakistan seems to be worsening by the day. Despite Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif assuring of a speedy solution, normal life continues to be thrown out of gear.
Petrol pumps in commercial capital Karachi saw hundreds of residents queuing up even as they reported a steady fall in reserves on Tuesday. Many pumps also closed down due to unavailability of fuel. Things were no different in capital Islamabad and in other major cities of Pakistan. People in eastern Lahore too had no option but to wait in long queues for hours outside the few pumps which remained open. Many blame the administration for poor planning which resulted in the crisis.
पेट्रोलियम को इस्तीफा देकर घर चले जाना चाहिए क्योंकि और वज़ीर आज़म के जो एडवाइज़र हैं जो प्लानर हैं वो काम नहीं पूरी तरह कर पा रहे उनको भी घर चले जाना चाहिए।
बेटी मेरी का कल पेपर है जिसको मैंने लेने जाना है उसके लिए मेरे पास जाने के लिए ना कोई कन्वेंस है और वो बेचारी मुझे अब दोबारा टेलीफोन कर रही है कि आप पापा मुझे आप ले जाएं लेकिन मैं कैसे जाऊं। ये देखें ये पेट्रोल के लिए मैं खड़ा हूं।
Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had on Monday appointed a two-member committee to investigate the crisis after chairing a high-level meeting to assess the situation. The shortage has been persisting for over a week now, and the government seems clueless on the reasons behind it. While some felt it was a conspiracy against the government, others claim that an overspending public has led to the shortage. Petroleum Minister Shahid Abbasi said all efforts were being made to resolve the issue.
आवाम को जो तकलीफ हो रही है हम उसमें शर्मिंदा भी हैं, नादिम भी हैं और अपनी जिम्मेदारी का एहसास भी करते हैं। इसीलिए ये कोशिश की जा रही है कि दिनों के अंदर इस मसले को हल कर दिया जाए।
The shortage is likely to continue until next week when fresh supplies from the Middle East are expected to reach Pakistan.
The 4 suspected members of Islamic State who were arrested in Bangladesh on Monday have confessed to being trained in Pakistan. The militants revealed while interrogation that the cell which they ran from capital Dhaka was planning to collect funds and weapons for targeting various officials of the Bangladesh government. The suspects who were nabbed from the outskirts of Dhaka included the country coordinator of the IS-2. Reports of growing influence of the Middle East-based militia have already raised alarm bells across South Asia. The Bangladesh police have arrested 8 people for suspected involvement with the IS in the past 1 year, including a British national in September. China has said it hopes for continued cooperation with Colombo despite the new Sri Lankan government pledging to review Chinese infrastructure projects granted under the previous regime. A report.
Chinese Foreign Ministry on Monday asserted that the cooperation between the two nations was based on mutual benefit in the common interests of both the sides. The remarks come 2 days after a member of Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisana's government said it would look at benchmarks for Chinese infrastructure costs using independent audit firms.
中国和斯里兰卡是友好邻邦，中斯之间开展的合作是基于互利共赢这样一个重要的基础，符合双方人民共同的利益。我们希望并相信，中斯双方的有关合作能够进一步朝前健康稳定的发展。
Sri Lanka had on Friday called to review a $1.5 billion port deal with China over concerns about the company getting land on a freehold basis in a high-security zone. The port project, which is also a destination for the majority transshipment cargo through Colombo, had for long been an area of concern for India. It comes as the new government is adopting an India First policy against the earlier administration under Mahinda Rajapaksa. President Sirisena chose India for a newly appointed Foreign Minister Mangala Samaravira's first overseas trip this week, reflecting the priority his government gives to review relations with India.
Indian stocks continued its impressive run on Tuesday, touching new heights in trade. The Bombay Stock Exchange closed at 28,784.67, up by 1.85%. The broader Nifty also ended the day's business at 8,695.6, up by 1.69%, after hitting a lifetime high of 8,708 earlier in the day. Top gainers of Tuesday were blue chip stocks like HDFC, Sesa Sterlite, Tata Steel, Axis Bank and Tata Motors. The Indian markets have been on an upswing ever since the Reserve Bank announced an unexpected rate cut last week, the first in nearly 2 years. People of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir continue to demand the cleansing of their homeland from all terror-related activities. The Himalayan region has remained a hub of militancy thrust upon them for long.
Pakistan is yet to come to terms with the recent Peshawar Army school terror attack. As people across the nation marked its first-month anniversary, many in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK took to streets seeking an end to the ever-increasing terror footprint in their region too. Pakistan, which rules the annexed region through a proxy government, has deployed its armed forces to keep it under its stranglehold. Protesters held the Pakistani security agencies responsible for the rising tide of violence in the Himalayan region. Residents of POK also blamed Pakistan for nurturing militant camps in the remote region, which openly propagate hatred and terror against those who demand freedom here.
Breaking the stereotypical loud religious chanting, this one was a silent ritual, quite literally. Take a look at how Hindus in northern India marked the auspicious day of Mauni Amavasya.
The winter chill couldn't dampen the spirits of millions of devotees who thronged the banks of holy Ganges in northern Allahabad to mark Mauni Amavasya on Tuesday. Also called the No Moon Day, worshippers took a dip before offering prayers to mark the union of the sun and the moon.
गंगा जी स्नान करने के लिए आए हैं। गंगा जी का साल भर हम लोग इंतजार करते हैं दिन का, शुभ दिन का, और हम लोग आते हैं अपनी मनोकामना पूरा करने के लिए, मांगते हैं, अपना गंगा जी से प्रार्थना करते हैं। गंगा जी हमारी मांगों को पूरा करती हैं, ये हमारी इच्छा रहती है।
Mauni Amavasya symbolizes quietness, wherein devotees perform all rituals in complete silence, taking pledge to observe fasting without uttering a word throughout the day.
आज मौनी अमावस्या मौन धर्म करके स्नान किया जाता है। मौन का स्नान कर सुख संपत्ति सब कुछ लक्ष्मी घर में आती है और शांति मिलता है।
Mauni Amavasya is an important date for holy dip during the annual Magh Mela and Kumbh Mela. Worshippers also do Pindadan, a ritualistic offering to departed souls to help their forefathers attain salvation from the cycle of birth and death.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. US and UK urge Pakistan to hand over 2611 mastermind Lakhvi to India. Life comes to a standstill as petroleum shortage spreads across Pakistan. And Hindus in India mark Mauni Amavasya with holy dip. Now, viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.